Hey there, have you been wondering how to create a successful online course in your practice? Or maybe it's something that you want to launch to a national audience. Well, you are not alone. Working with integrative medicine practitioner, that is one of the most frequent requests that I get. And oftentimes the motivation behind this is really to diversify your revenue stream so that, you may be coaching with somebody and they said, well, you should have something beyond just working with people in your brick and mortar practice one-on-one. And an online course is such a vehicle where you can sell it to people no matter where they are, and the fulfillment happens over the internet. And so in this video, I want to talk about the 5 things you need to consider to craft a successful online course that really sells and meets the needs of your audience. And also be sure to download our course creation checklist below this video with a step-by-step approach of what you need to do in what order, as well as the software that you can use to launch your online course. Now, I've worked with lots of practitioners in the past few years, practitioners that are just starting out and creating a course in their community just for their existing brick and mortar practice clients, as well as people that want to launch this on a national scale. So one of my clients sold over $600,000 over the course of 2 years without Facebook or Instagram advertising. So I know both of these are possible, and I want to take you in this video through the step-by-step process, the things that you have to consider to ensure that your course is successful. Because let's face it, creating a course is actually the easy part, but making sure that it's successful, that people actually want to buy it, want to give you money, and actually do get outcomes from the course, that is the key part. So I'm always happy to hop with you on a strategy session to go through your course concept if that's something you need help with. Alright, so here's tip number 1. Ensure that your course actually solves a pressing problem. And what you have to realize is that people don't buy courses for the sake of buying courses, for the sake of watching videos, getting checklists, reading content. They're buying a course in order to achieve a certain outcome. And as long as you can get them to a certain outcome, that's all they care about. They don't care about how many modules it is, how many videos it has. What they really want, can you get me reliable from where I'm right now to where I want to be? And so when you design a course, you have to really keep that in mind, that your audience is actually interested in buying the course because they can see the promise of the course. Now, here's where this gets a little bit tricky. Because if you're developing a course just for your local audience, for your brick and mortar practice patients, then you can be a little bit broader with your course topics. You could be on digestive health, on rebalancing your hormones, on moving the needle with digestive health, etc. When you move to a national audience, there's lots more of practitioners that have a digestive health course, that have a hormone balancing course, etc. And so when you move from a local level to selling a course at the national level, you have to be way more specific. So in many instances, it's almost mutually exclusive to create a course locally versus nationally, unless you really figure this part out. And so the checklist that you can download below this video helps you go through this process, answer the questions that you need to answer in order to position your course to be equally attractive to your local audience that is seeing you in their practice, as well as a more national audience. Alright, tip number 2 is validate your course idea before you build the course. And so the idea is that you have to first build a tribe and then co-create the course with your tribe so that you know what you're creating is actually meeting the demands and needs of your audience, and that they are invested in buying the course. So there's no better way than creating what we call a seed launch, and I'm going to talk about this in tip number 5 in more detail. But the idea is that you don't really need to have a course in place. You first want to validate the idea, get the outline in place, get the input from your audience that they tell you, if we were wanting a course on XYZ, this is what we expect to be in the course. And so you want to build the tribe first, and that means building your email list, creating lead magnets, and start building your tribe. Put content out on social media so that you are a known quantity, an expert, an authority that then naturally has a course to help their audience address certain issues. But the tribe building comes first, the social media comes next, and the course building comes third. So if you have those first 2 pieces in place, you're in a good place, and you should definitely think about launching an online course. So tip number 3 is about determining your course outline and your course format. And so what you need to consider is, what comes easiest to you to create, both in terms of topics, what you know about the need of the marketplace, and then, what format is most conducive to you. Are you good on camera, and do you want to deliver the entire course to camera? Is it that it's narrated PowerPoints? Is it a written form? Is it something in the form of checklist and just written content? So you have to ask yourself, what is easiest for you to create? What comes more natural to you, so that creating a course is actually fun and is an easy thing for you to do. So tip number 4 is to really think about where your customers are coming from, because that is an essential part of how you market the course, how you can scale the course, how you can ensure that enough people actually see the content, see the sales page, and actually want to buy the course. So there's a couple areas that you can draw from. Number 1, your email list. So if you have built up an email list over the course of several months, etc., then obviously you would offer the course to those people or in your email list. You can use organic social media in your talk about your social media, about your course, and so then lead people from your organic social media to your course. You can use paid advertising, for instance, Facebook and Instagram ads, to make people aware of your course. And then finally, option number 4 is to partner with affiliates, people that have already the audience that you want to tap into, and then partner with them in exchange for an affiliate commission to get exposure for your course among their audience. And then tip number 5 is to get paid for creating your course. And so the idea is sell the course first and then build it later. And I know that can be nerve-wracking when you think about the logistical challenges, but here's what I mean by that. And this is a concept referred to as a seed launch by Jeff Walker. And what it actually is that you create the sales page, the checkout page, and the order confirmation page with the promised course concept. And then you start exposing your audience to it and get them to buy the course. And what you tell people on the checkout page is that that course will be delivered live, and it starts, let's say, 4 weeks from now. And so you essentially generate a number of sales. People vote with their wallets that they say, I do want this course. And that it actually makes sense that you build the course. And so then you only have to create 1 or 2 modules ahead of each section. So let's say if you're on a weekly schedule, the only thing that you have to have in place before the first session is the slide deck for session 1, and then you have a Zoom call and you deliver the class live. You answer questions at the end of the class, and then you put the recording into a membership area, and that becomes your version 1.0 of your course. You can also pair this with a Facebook group, so you can create community and answer questions that your audience may have. But then as you get to week 2, all you have to do is create the slide deck for session 2. You deliver this again live, and then you put the recording into the membership area, and that becomes the first version of your course. And so then you can further refine this. So you may do a second seed launch where you already have all the slide decks, and now you incorporate all the feedback that your audience has given you into the course, and then you go through another cohort. You do this again live. And that's when the time comes to turn this into an evergreen course. So now you have all the content nicely done, and all you focus on is now creating an evergreen system, so people can go to the sales page, they can realize that they can join your course right now, they can give you the money, and then they can get into the membership area and start consuming the course. So at that point, you're not delivering the course live anymore. People are doing this now on autopilot, and again, this ensures that you actually create a course that people want to give you money for, that people actually gave you money for to create, and that's really the best of both worlds. Because what I've found is that when you ask people, is this something you would spend money on, how much would you spend? People say whatever they think you want to hear, not to bruise your ego. And so the only way you can ensure or know for sure that somebody is willing to give you money for it is actually making an offer and actually take people's money. So I hope these tips were helpful in creating an online course. I'm very much in favor of creating an online course because it is a very leveraged way to educate your audience, to disseminate the amazing clinical knowledge that you have. So I can't think of a better way to utilize your time than creating a course that people can buy. Just make sure that the course topic is set up in a way that it can meet both the needs of your local audience as well as a more national audience, that people see why they need to buy your course and not somebody else's course. So if you want to go even deeper on this topic, be sure to download our checklist with the step-by-step process to create a successful online course. That checklist also has a list of recommended software that we have used or that we recommend, and additional tips to make your life easier to create the course that your patients really want and need. I'll see you in the next video.